on the water to go fishing at last. Bank holiday Monday, and yeah, wasn't expecting to get out today. The forecast was quite grizzly actually, but high pressure has come in earlier than forecast. The wind hasn't settled down, so not quite sure what we're going to get out of the day. I'm just down on the afternoon tide. I did come down the river yesterday actually. My wife, my son and his girlfriend, we popped down to Salcombe. There was a crab festival there, so just did that. That was a nice day, and it made sure that the boat was all running as it should be after I launched it the day before. Engine's running sweet after its service, and I hadn't forgotten anything that should be on the boat. So yeah, just popping down on the afternoon tide. I'll get to the bar, have a look at the conditions, and see what we're going to do. Potentially it could be very interesting this year. There's a commercial ban on pollock fishing. Get out that breeze a little bit. There's a commercial ban on pollock fishing. The quota has been set at 0. The commercials can land pollock only as a bycatch, and that's only at 100 kilos a month. That compares to the tons and tons and tons that were landed in previous years. So there's the commercial pressure has on the fish stocks has eased massively, because they can't catch pollock and not all boats have a bass entitlement. It's going to cut down massively on netting, and obviously massively on the stocks that are landed. So yeah, for us recreational types, it will be interesting to see what effect that has on the fish stocks. So yeah, here we are, just heading down, and I'll bring you back when I get close to the sea. There we are, just crossing the bar at Salcombe. It's a little bit chilly, it's a little bit overcast, but sea conditions look amazing. So I'm going to pop out to a wreck. I've only got a couple of hours just on this single tide into the early evening. So I'll pop out to a wreck. The tides are nice for lure fishing, so it'll just be a couple of hours, very simple lure fishing. See what we can pick up from the wreck. I will bring you back when we're out there. Well, we've arrived at the wreck. That's on its way. So the coat might be coming out in a minute. Yeah, just see which way we drift, and then I'll set up for the first drift. So what we've got for this, like I said, it couldn't be more simple really. So this is Ugly Stick GX2, 12 to 20 pound class, 40 pound of braid on a Pen Fathom lever drag, and then at the other end, I haven't put the lead on yet. We've got a sliding boom. I'll start off probably, see how we're drifting, 1.3 knots, 6 ounce lead, something like that. And then we've got about 8 foot of fluorocarbon going onto a lure. I'm not massively convinced that the colour makes an awful lot of difference. It needs to be the right size, and it needs a good movement. So I reckon this is about the size of the bait fish that'll be down there, so I'm using that. I use good quality lures, Sidewinder, Storm or Lazy lures. That gives you the action, and if you pop something down that's going to move right, the colour maybe does make a difference. You've got to have confidence in it. I use this a lot, so I'm confident in it. Right, I've seen which way the drift is, so just going to reposition and we'll see how the first drop does. It's just starting to spit from that shower, squally shower that's going to come through, so I'll try and keep the screen dry, but if there are any blobs over there, my apologies. Right, first drop of the 2024 season. Will it bring anything? So nice to be out. Seems so long, but just not being able to get out fishing. Doesn't seem so long, it is so long. like I might be so out of practice I haven't even put the boat in the right position. See how it drifts. It's a lovely speed, 1.2, 1.3 knots in 72 metres of water. So a nice speed for lure fishing over a wreck. Might have to up the lead weight though. 6 ounces taking a bit of a time to get down. There we are on the bottom. And that was absolutely rubbish positioning. Not a great start. Okay, I'll get this down to the bottom, reel up again, put a slightly heavier lead on and reposition. Saying that, it's not big, but something's taken a little peck at it off the wreck. And a good few turns up, so let's see what it is. So for the first drift of the 2024 season, got the position completely wrong, and we've caught a fish. Well, hooked a fish. It's not landed yet. So a promising start. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? The first fish of the season. A little pollock, a little pouting rather. I haven't brought any bait, so that'll be potentially good for bait if I need any. Right, reposition over the wreck this time. Right, this drift will be over the wreck. Just swapped it out for an 8 ounce lead as well, which is yeah, I think that's going to be better for this strength of tide in this depth of water. Still 2024, a fish adrift. Hopefully we can find something better quality than one little pouting. Yes, we've achieved a drift which is going to take us over the wreck this time. It's going across the wreck, so they're going to be quite short drifts. There we are on the wreck. Just on the near edge of the wreck as we go across it. Felt like pout again. Wreck's obviously healthier, that's good. It's a scrapper. Slightly bigger than the last one, but it feels like pout again to me. Can't do a lot about it once you've hooked it. It's definitely heavier, but not as heavy as I'd like it to be. Yep, pout number 2. Let's see if that one will go back. It's quite deep water, but I'm only winding it in gently, so hopefully it'll go back. I'll get the hook out nicely. Right, round again. Still a fish adrift. Drift number 3. If this one picks up a small pout, I might chop that lure out and change it for a bigger one, see if that'll put them off a little bit. They fight well, but I think it's pout again. For their size, they fight well. Big old pout, that one. Some people like to take a fillet off them. Whoa. Some people like to take a fillet off them, but that one's lively enough to go back. I'll put that one back and put a bigger lure on and see what that can do. So the first lure, 3 fish from 3 drifts, was 4 inches. This one is 8. So see if that's enough to put the pouting off and entice the bigger fish. They've got to be down there, something's eating those pout. It hasn't put the pout off having a go at it, you can feel it on the tail. That's better. Oh no, lost it. Something was just hanging on. That is the downside of sticking a big lure on, that there's more content for a fish to bite hold of it without actually biting the hook. That was a better fish, but it wasn't hooked. Well, the big lure is definitely attracting the bigger fish, because that was something reasonable that took hold of the lure but didn't hook. So we'll go around and give it another try. Drift number 5, sticking with the big lure. This could be the last drift without a coat on for a minute. Absolutely black coming this way. Nice. There's good fish down there though, I can feel it. Some days you don't feel it, but you know, you think, yeah, there's not a lot down there, but the wreck seems really healthy. Lots of bites. likes it, of course, saying stuff like that. The minute you say lots of bites, you have a drift without a bite. We're not quite there, not quite through the wreck yet. Nope, well through the wreck. I tried the other end of the wreck for that drift, and that didn't have a bite, so back to the first bit of the wreck, I think. Still getting away with it just in a dry bit of the sea. Yeah, so drift 1, 2 and 3, small pout. Drift 4 with a bigger lure, big take but no fish. And 5 was the wrong section of wreck by the feel of it. So we're back to the right bit of the wreck with the big lure. See if that'll do the job. Drift's picking up a little bit, 1.5 knots now, which is still really nice for lure fishing. There's the bottom. Something there, but there's absolutely no fight in it at all. Possibly fouled up something, do they? It's not particularly heavy, and it's not particularly fighty. Well, there's a surprise. Not a very big pollock, but a pollock, nicely hooked, that just hardly bit and did not fight at all. But considering that came up from 70 meters, that's in really good condition. So go back. Well, it wasn't a pout. Very strange pollock though. Yeah, right, round again, try that again. Last drift with this big lure, unless it does really well. Give this one a final go. Yeah, if this doesn't pull anything decent out, we'll go for something in between. Yeah, that's off the wreck that time, so we'll have a delve into the lure box, I think, and see what I think might be able to entice a bigger one. I've just stopped fishing for a minute. I've put on a 4-inch one again, but this time I've just gone for something shiny and holographic. I thought I had something about It's in between the 2, in between the 4 and the 8, but I don't in my box, so just gone for that one. The reason I've stopped fishing and moved off is because he'll look far away on the camera, but he's not. Big container ship who's just going to plough straight over the wreck, which is fine. You know, obviously no one's looking out. Couple of degrees change of course, it would have missed me. I should be a static blob on his radar. If he's picked it up, I haven't got a radar reflector, fair enough. Yeah, fairly obvious today, but you have to be careful when it's a bit misty and you can't see those big fellas coming. Right, I'll just wait for this one to pass and then I'll reposition over the wreck. There was only one winner in that fight, and it's not a 17.5 foot plastic boat. Not a problem, he's soon through, and we'll get back to fishing in a minute. Right, let's see what's happening with the tide. Now we're back on the wreck. See if this holographic will do the trick. You might have thought that merchantman that somebody would have come out onto the bridge wing and just given me a friendly wave just to prove that I had been seen. Nope, didn't see a soul. Right, yeah, it's picking up a bit more now, 1.7 knots, which is fine, quicker through the wreck obviously, but it's an okay speed for lure fishing. As long as I can get down before we reach the wreck. We're nearly there. No. Just coincided. Yeah, that stronger tide, I'm going to have to move, step a little bit further away from the wreck. I think we're just about through it. Only really got once on the bottom and then we're through. Right, this position should work to get us down onto the bottom before we get to the wreck. Been very lucky at dodging those showers so far. Just need a bit of luck on the other end of the line here. That's better, on the bottom well in advance of the wreck this time. That's a better fight.
This is crawled by NCR. The watch is now closed and will reopen 0900 hours tomorrow morning. Search crawled by NCR and visit our website for all weather information and webcam showing the local sea condition. This is crawled by NCR. Out.
A much better fish. It's having a good old fight, this one. Oh, there it goes again. Right, let me get it in. Oh, just thrown the hook. It's a beauty of a pollock. I'll weigh that one. I don't think it'll make double figures, but it is a beast of a fish. Right, let me weigh that one and I'll let you know. Happy with that though. Right, it's always difficult on a boat, but that is not quite double. That's coming in at 9.5 pounds, but very happy with that for the first outing of the season. Get some nice fillets off that one. Right, let's see if there's another one down there. Pollock are such fun fish to catch. They dive down to the bottom. That was taking line off the reel several times, and at that size they also make decent eating as well. So yeah, very happy with that one. So I would not profess to be even a decent fisherman, really. Certainly not an expert, just an enthusiastic amateur. So, but it is a case of just adapting a little bit. So, and it's not going to work every time. It's unusual to just go out and catch fish, you know, and there wouldn't be a lot of fun to it if that was the case. But the small lure was bringing in small fish. The big lure wasn't hooking. Part of the wreck wasn't fishing. And now, hopefully, hopefully we've found the right bit of the wreck and the right lure, and we're into another fish. Not as big as that first one, I don't think, but it's another good fish here. I said it wasn't as big, but I'm not convinced. That's another beauty. Bit of damage to its dorsal fin there, that one. But yeah, another beauty of a fish. Just just hooked in the top lip with that little lure. Get it out. There it is anyway, you can see. Absolutely devoured it. Another really good prime quality pollock. Got it again. Well, it's amazing to be back out on the water. It's great to be back out and have a bend on the rod on a couple of occasions. I've got some friends that wouldn't mind some fish, so if I could catch 3 fish, that would be amazing. Or is that just greedy because I've just caught 2? We will see. Very quiet out here, apart from that merchantman and a couple of His Majesty's finest out earlier on. The water is very quiet for a bank holiday Monday. And I just saw a dolphin. So yeah, always a good day when you see a mammal. Too quick for me to get the camera out, of course. Haven't quite got the position right with this one. A bit too far into the wreck again. Yeah, 1.9 knots. Saying that, forget all I just said. It was in a perfect position. Oh, that's a good one. That is a nice fish. If it comes up, that might be the 3 I was asking for. That's another good reason for buying good quality lures. Although it's only a small lure, those hooks are really, really strong. Now that one, for some reason, was the hardest fighter out of the lot, and it's the smallest. Still a good fish. There's the lure just out. I think that one might return actually. I'll give that a minute and keep an eye on it. If it's not going to return, then I'll hook it up with a landing net and take it. I thought its swim bladder looked okay, but you never know really. That last one wouldn't go back, unfortunately. His swim bladder had gone, so so I've got my 3. I'm just having one final drift here, and then have a think about what we can do next. We might go closer inshore, see some other species around. I'd like to try for mackerel. I haven't heard any reports in this area of mackerel being caught yet, but it'd be lovely to go home with some fresh mackerel. it would always be lovely to go home with fresh mackerel, and last year was a really poor year for it. Yeah, it's just picking up as well. We've got 2.3, 2.4 knots of drift now, which is just getting to the stage where it's a little bit, getting a little bit strong. So last drift. This isn't a big fish. Bring it in gently and hopefully we'll be able to return it, whatever it is. Around. Really nice condition little pollock, and yeah, just reel that one in gently, so that'll go back. Yep, straight back down for that one. Right, gonna have a little tidy up here and then head inshore and have a little try there. Nice new shiny mackerel feathers for the season. First dip. Just gonna have one try here. It might hold pollock, but we'll give it a go while we're out here before we head a bit closer in. All quiet on the feathers. Saying that, there was a little something then, but it's let go. No, got something. It's not mackerel. Does feel like it might be a pollock actually. Just in the bottom lip. Get it out. There it is. Another nice little pollock. Lovely, that one's gone back. Right, I don't want to catch more pollock really, so we'll head inshore a bit more and see what we can find. And the like that the Warrior 175 is a wet ride. off today, but there is a lump. I did 18 knots going into it. It's on the quarter now, so it's not completely behind us. It's like the sea's coming from the back left, if you like, and all the spray is going sideways. Nothing sits in the windscreen. That little bit of wet on there is the rain that was there before, and it's not coming over the top. It's just a case of trimming it right. I'm not going to trim it wrong and get a face full of salt water just to prove the point. But yeah, trimmed right, you're always going to get a little bit over the top with small boats at some point. But it's dry enough ride if you trim it right. Right, still got a little way to go. We're going to head in and see if there are any mackerel. Just chance for it when we get a little bit closer in. But yeah, a little way to go yet. Just give it 10 minutes here on the way in with the mackerel feathers, see if there's anything about. I'm not very confident. I haven't heard any reports of mackerel being caught. There's nothing on the sounder, and it's Bank Holiday Monday, and the boat that specialises on mackerel trips, the charter boat in Salcombe, is on its mooring. So he's either taking a bank holiday off, or there's just not the fish there to satisfy his punters yet. So not that hopeful, but it doesn't matter really. I mentioned that bit coming in. I hope it picked up all right with there wasn't too much noise. The boat will go a lot faster than that with the 100 Yamaha on the back, but I like that sort of speed, 18 to 20 knots. It gets me to all of the places I want to go in a sensible time frame. It's not stressing the boat, it's not stressing my body, and it's not stressing the engine. That's just running at 4,200 revs for, depending whether you're going into the sea or against it, 18 to 20 knots. There's no need to go any faster really. So yeah, that's the only reason for that. It's bizarre today. There's that was quite not massively far out, but I was a distance out to get to that wreck. I didn't see any Dan buoys at all, so the pollock ban, obviously the gill netters are just not bothering. It is quite a strong tide for gill nets as well, admittedly. It'd be interesting to go out there on a neap tide and see what's being netted. But to catch pollock like that, once I'd found where they were and what lures they were interested in, it certainly benefits the recreational fishermen. And I think the government, I don't want to get into the politics of it, or swallow just coming in across the channel. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but the government are looking to compensate the under 10 fleet for not being able to catch pollock. So I'm sure it's not what they want, but it's not a complete loss for them. Just snagged up on the bottom. Keep a snaggy here. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. All right, I'll try and free this up. I don't know what that was stuck on, but managed to free those. So yeah, didn't lose a new set of feathers. So yeah, got those back, but I'm going to give up now and call it a day. So that was good. Great start to the season. 3 nice pollock to take home for 1 for me and 2 for friends, and some other small bits around as well. So yeah, that was really nice. The wreck was fishing well. Saw the dolphin as well. Some swallows coming in. Always nice to see. Yeah, let's hope that it's going to be a long hot summer after what seems like about 8 months of winter. A long hot summer with plenty of fishing. So I'm going to head in now, go somewhere a little bit calmer, just to fillet those fish off, and I'll hopefully see you very soon. Cheers.